Port Vale's miserable run continues, but is there any light at the end of the tunnel with a game against Cheltenham coming up this afternoon? This week's fans panel of PHIL SHERWIN, from Burslem, Mark Walton, from London, and WAYNE WINDSOR, from Porthill are struggling to see positive signs. What's your team? PHIL SHERWIN, time for a few changes as obviously what we have been doing hasn't been working. Legge needs to play for his prowess in the air. My team: Brown, Gibbons, Legge, Smith, Clark, Cannon, Oily, if fit otherwise Edzard, K, Whitfield, Pope, Miller, Mark Walton. I doubt even a combination of Ferguson, Paisley and Clough could put out a side from this Vale squad capable of winning a game, as he shows little sign of being able to do so. For what it's worth, I'll go with Brown, Gibbons, Legge, Smith, Clark, K, Oily, pray he's fit, Cannon if not, Montano, Burrell, Pope, Whitfield. Ben Whitfield hoping to rekindle partnership with Port Vale skipper WAYNE WINDSOR. I have two issues with the selection. Firstly, Kay and Joyce in the same team. Why? Don't we have any better midfielders at the club? They are both too negative and very rarely play the ball forward. Secondly, and I have thick skin, playing Popey on his own isn't working for both him and the team. We are too predictable, with no wingers. It's who fall up to Tom, and 7 times out of 10, he has 2 defenders who snuff out the attack. We have nobody with speed who can hurt a defense, run the channels or put defenders under constant pressure. I would like to see a 4-4-2 formation at home, with the front 2 being 2 from Miller, Turner or Elliott. We'd also have the option to bring Tom on, if needed. It's a game to nothing. Is a draw really good enough? So what have we got to lose? My team: Brown, Gibbons, Smith, Hawkins, Crooks, Whitfield, K, Conlon, Cannon, Miller, Turner. What's your prediction? PHIL SHERWIN, a battling draw which would at least be a start. Cheltenham 1, Vale 1. Mark Walton, I've scant confidence in Vale getting a result anywhere at the moment, but Cheltenham are missing players, so I'll go for a logical defying 1-1. WAYNE WINDSOR, I think this might be a tight game, but our pace going forward might help us score, and hopefully more than one goal, as we might need to win this game. I'm going for a 2-1 win. Any other business? PHIL SHERWIN, where do we start? Of course, with all the doom, gloom and woe, I can understand some fans saying, we are down and that is it for Port Vale. The reality is that it isn't over yet. The fans of the 3 teams below us are saying just the same, and they are still behind us, albeit not far. I think it is between 5 teams now: Notts County, Macclesfield, Yeovil, ourselves, and I wouldn't count Morecambe out of it, even though they have just won 2 games. John Iski is hoping to guide Port Vale away from the League 2 danger zone. Image: Gerard Austin, action freeze, all poor sides, but 3 of them will stay up and we need to make sure we are one of them. We have only won one of our last 13 league games, and if we only win one of the next 13 then it really will be curtains. We probably need 4 wins and 2 or 3 draws, which is a hell of an improvement, but not impossible. I know the transfer window prevents us from signing players under contract, but Morecambe have just signed a player who wasn't with a club and he has got them 6 points, so there are players available who could do a short-term job at this pretty low level. John Iski needs to galvanize the players into a battling unit for 13 games to get us out of trouble. It's well documented that the reason that we have gone from a mid-table side in League 1 to one at the bottom end of League 2 in under 3 years is down to a man who won't admit his failings, or, worse than that, won't do anything about them. I know it costs money to run a football club, but if you don't want that, then don't buy one. Even if you are out of your depth, then sell and cut your losses. How many clubs at our level have ever received a fee of more £1.6 million for a player like we did for Jordan Hudgell? I know a lot of fees are stupidly undisclosed these days, but I can only find 3 that are larger. Just a small portion of that would have helped us to better things, but obviously not in the opinion of the owner. It could well be our worst season since first joining the Football League 127. years ago, but even if it is, I will say one thing: if nothing changes at the top of this club, whether we go down or not, next season will be even worse. There simply has to be a change. Port Vale owner Norman Smurthwaite, Mark Walton. Port Vale are in their worst crisis since the war. Not even the brief expulsion from the league in the late 1960s could have been grimmer than the current situation. Beyond dire on the pitch, with a new manager handed the most toxic of poison chalices and an owner who says nothing, at least officially, and simply fiddles while Vale Park burns. We're so bad even Stoke fans are sympathizing. At least the fan base is finally united against Norman Smurthwaite, although we probably should have been protesting 2 years ago or even earlier. As for his latest appointment, we've been unimpressed so far by a ski who has managed to make a worse start than all the terrible bosses we've had since 2007. To be fair, what he most needs are the very things we entirely lack: time, decent players and an owner who gives a stuff. We're not down yet, but fans are actively anticipating what life in the National League will be like. There's no way this squad would be capable of the long slog of getting out of it, and we could easily follow old foes Stockport further down the pyramid. Maybe we will need to be reborn as a Phoenix club like Chester, Hereford or Darlington. At least we'd be free of Smurthwaite. Whatever happens, we'll still be supporters, but it won't be the same being a non-league club. There will be huge financial ramifications and an impact on the wider community in Burslem. On the upside, I lived in Dover for a couple of years and can confirm the Crabble is a lovely ground which I shall enjoy returning to, assuming athletics stay up. I've just got to remember which pub to drown our sorrows in after Vale lose their next season. Fans waved banners and chanted, "Get out of our club," in protest against Port Vale owner Norman Smurthwaite. WAYNE WINDSOR. It's all about the owner and protests: what to do to get Smurthwaite to sell our club. He obviously wants us to be playing non-league football next season. There must be a reason why he is holding on to our club. He must be making money, otherwise as a successful businessman he would sell, wouldn't he? Fans ask, will the protests work? I think they will if they are organized properly. We have to make his matchday experience as bad as ours has been all season, take away the superiority of the man, his status at the club, make it as uncomfortable as we can. We need to be in his face everywhere he turns. Let him know we are not going away and he is the one that will leave before we do. This is our club, it's my club, my daughter's club, your son's club, your mom, dad, granddad, grandma's club, and I will not give up on Port Vale. I just hope other fans feel the same pride and passion that I feel when I put my top on and take my wife and daughters to watch my club.